What would you be most interested in if you are a parent who has a fetus? I guess lots of them could answer about the gender of baby. Well, that applies to the past either. Now, we have lots of ways to know the answer of that question. And yet, 100 years ago, people had nothing to answer that question, but they had curiosity just like nowadays. So they used many ways to get the answer. Don't you want to know that? You don't? Um, well, I don't care. Let's go. Would you believe me if I say they knew the baby's gender with how the firstborn enters or where the fetus plays inside their mom's tummy? I guess you would think that as a myth between people, but it wasn't. In our last dynasty, Joseon, this was our science. I'll give you the proof. This was most famous medical book in Joseon dynasty. And this book says a baby's gender isn't decided until it's 3 months old as a fetus. Are you tired? Bored? Well, I'll give you some question. If you answer that you want to know the gender of baby at the beginning of video, and why did you answer like that? Maybe to prepare some daily necessities of the baby, or maybe because of simple curiosity. But in the past, that wasn't it. Of course, there might be those ideas too, but the majority of the people were to get a boy. Their thought was only boys could pass on their thought, which came from Chinese tradition. Chinese people gave the responsibility of managing thought to the boys, and this tradition was transmitted to Korea. Some people consider aborting when the child is a girl. So now let's talk about after the baby is born. In our last dynasty chosen, when a baby was born, people chose the purest day and cleaned the umbilical cord about 100 times and put it in a pot. The pot was usually made with a grayish blue powdered celadon or a white porcelain. On its cover and body were small holes. The pot is formed with a small pot and the big one, where the small one is put in. The small one was where the cord was kept, and that small pot was put in the big one in the special day, a holy one. When the little pot was put in the big one, people put some cotton between the big pot and the small one to prevent damage to the small pot. The cover of the big pot was usually covered with some berries and then tied up with a red string. Afterward, the pots were perfectly moved into a room for it with a special rock. It is known that people put in some planted headstones there. Not only royal families but noblemen, people with high power could make pots for courts as well. Sometimes they burned cords and kept the ashes until the owner of the cord was married and gave it to him or her. In another case, people just put the cord in a pot with a hole at the bottom where the water can spill out. When the people buried the pot, they always tried to bury it in a holy place as people thought burying the cord in a strange place will bring bad luck to the owner. Keeping or buying the cord can be easily found in the folks as well. For example, folks living in a fishing village bury the pot in the beach, wishing that the owner will be a great fisherman. Like this, there were so many ways and traditions related to umbilical cord. Through studying about our traditions related to umbilical cords, we can see our ancestors' spirit of emphasizing our body, even a small part of it.